This is very good news for you guys, the shareholders, but very bad news for NIO owners like me. And what is this news all about? I share the good and the bad, and obviously, you guys would like to hear this, of course. And just to let you guys know, I sold 2 more NIOs today. That's amazing. So, if you haven't checked out my previous video where I became a sales rep essentially, and I went to the NIO store and tried to convince customers to buy a NIO. That is definitely worth watching. There's also an awesome time lapse, so check that out. That video will be linked over here and also at the end of this video. So the program that NIO is ending, they are ending it in order to save cash, conserve cash, and this is from what I heard from the NIO manager. And they are kind of trying to be more cautious about the way they spend cash because they're still losing a ton of money, and it is getting to that point where they gotta think about ways to cut down on spending. So they made a lot of good changes. I'll share more of the changes in other videos, so make sure you're subscribed. But the change that we're gonna talk about right now in this video is the secondhand program and what's going on with that. So beforehand, the secondhand program used to be a very good program where NIO owners like me, we could just simply on the app tell NIO that I think I want to sell my car. So they're going to get someone to drive my car to the service center, get it all checked up, and then give you a value for the car that they're willing to pay you, and you can accept that offer. And if you accept that offer, then the car just stays there and you get your check. And if you don't accept that offer, you can, of course, get your car back. And that's pretty awesome. And that's a very good way that I think secondhand sales should go, like when you're trying to sell your car secondhand. And I really like this program. And what used to happen was this program is the go-to choice for a lot of NIO owners if they want to sell their car. And I believe Eric from Crossing China, he also sold his car this way. So that was pretty nice. But what are the changes? Well, there are also some drawbacks, of course. And the biggest one right now is the fact that when NIO collects that car, even though they're sometimes giving, well, they used to give really good offers, but now they're lowballing like crazy. They're lowballing like crazy, but even after lowballing like crazy, they get the car and it's just in their inventory and they can't get rid of it. They can't sell it out even though it's official secondhand car. It doesn't have a lot of the perks that a new car would have. And also it's pretty expensive, and it just becomes a depreciating inventory inside their whole entire lot. And they spent money on it. So they wasted a lot of money to get this car, and it's not doing anything, and they can't sell it out. So they really wanted to change this a little bit. So they are ending NIO secondhand program once and for all. So there is no more secondhand program. And the NIO owners that are hurt the most by this, I'm already hurt pretty much by this. I mean, like, if I sell my NIO right now, it's probably like 60% off or 65% off of my purchase price. But the guys that are hurt the most are actually the ES7 owners. The ES7 owners, if you guys remember, when the ES6 just launched, a lot of them felt betrayed. They felt backstabbed. And the solution that NIO offered wasn't to offer them the option to upgrade. And that would be the smart choice, the proper way to go about it. Spend money, of course, and NIO will get revenue, get money, but of course NIO couldn't really do that because they got to focus resources on other stuff, and also it'd be pretty expensive to do that. So they decided that the way that they're going to do this sort of to heal the wounds with the ES7 owners is to offer them a better secondhand sale price. So if you look at the ES7 secondhand prices, they pretty much keep like 80-something% of the value. And this is what the CEO has promised all the ES7 owners, because if you guys like, I didn't really talk about this that much, but they were so pissed. They were so pissed that I was called in to make that video with the NIO owner with 23 NIOs and all those other ES7 owners to just calm these guys down. So the promise that the NIO CEO did was, we're going to keep the secondhand sale value pretty high for all the ES7 owners. So they get to keep like 83% of the purchase price, which is a very good deal. But now it seems like they can't keep spending that kind of money, and they're just canceling the secondhand program once and for all. And I think it makes sense. It makes sense that if you look at it, a lot of other companies, they don't have like any sort of secondhand program that's similar to NIO's. But as a progression forward, I think this is a natural progression forward. And even though I think this signifies that a big part of the NIO's ecosystem has pretty much just been cut off, whether it's good or bad, I think it's good for the cash flow and cash balance, but it might be bad for the overall NIO owners in the community. So it's a very tough topic to talk about. But obviously we got to trust that NIO is making the right choice, and hopefully going forward they can somehow find a way to strike a good balance and still have a secondhand program, but make it work and not just giving cash away, getting the cars in, and then not being able to sell the secondhand cars. So definitely NIO has to work on that. But right now, the secondhand program is pretty much done. It's dead. I think this is also very significant because it also means that BAS cars are going to be harder to sell out because from like my car, I rented the battery instead of buying the battery. And that just means I have to pass the contract to someone else instead of me just being able to get the car to NIO and then they can just deal with it however they like. So you have to find a buyer that's also willing to take on the battery rental contract, which is another step that makes it harder. And I think this will actually further dissuade and convince people not to choose battery rental instead of purchasing the battery. So more people will purchase the battery outright instead of renting the battery, because it'll be much more difficult to sell your car secondhand if your battery is rented. So that is a big concern, and I think this just means that in the future, NIO owners like me with rented batteries, it's just going to be a tough situation for us to try to sell our car if we do plan to sell our car. But obviously, you know me, I got no quality problems with my car, so I can drive this probably for another 15-20 years, no problem. Unlimited warranty, just drive it, pass the car on to my son, little P. That's of course what a lot of these early NIO owners are thinking about, because they got unlimited warranty and unlimited free battery swap. It's become a household treasure in a sense. So yeah, I think I'm further being forced down that route, that rabbit hole. Just we gotta keep on driving my car. Can't sell it because you almost can't sell it. It's very hard to find a buyer. If you try to sell secondhand through NIO, all they're gonna do is try to connect you with some secondhand dealers, and you go about that. So it's gonna be you and some other secondhand dealer, and they're gonna try to sell your car or buy the car from you. So that's a big bummer for me, but I guess it's very good for you guys, because it means that a lot of the cash is going to be put to good use instead of buying secondhand NIOs. And let me know if you like this kind of news. And also, if you have any questions, strike them in the comments down below. And also, I'll try to answer as many as I can. Cool. Right. Hope you guys all have a good, wonderful weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.